The moment longtime fans of General Hospital have feared and debated for years has finally arrived. Jason Morgan, the stone-cold enforcer with the wounded heart, is leaving Port Charles once again. But this time, the goodbye feels heavier, quieter, and far more final. As Steve Burton bows out in what has been billed as his final episode, the show delivers an emotionally layered farewell that honors both the character's legacy and the complicated history that brought him here. This is not a simple exit. It's a reckoning of love lost, promises broken, lives protected, and a man who has spent decades choosing duty over himself. Below is a deep, creative breakdown of Jason's last chapter in Port Charles, the meaning behind the storytelling choices, and why this goodbye hits harder than any before. To understand why Jason's exit resonates so deeply, we have to remember who he is and who he became. Jason Morgan was not born a mob enforcer. He was once Jason Quatermain, a bright medical student with an easy smile and a future paved by privilege. Everything changed with a single car accident, a traumatic brain injury, and a personality erased. What emerged was a man stripped of expectations, uninterested in wealth or status, and loyal to a fault. From that moment forward, Jason lived by a code. Protect the innocent. Honor loyalty above all. Never explain yourself. Over the years, he became Port Charles' quiet guardian angel and its most feared shadow. He loved deeply but sparingly. And when he loved, he sacrificed. That pattern defines his final exit. Jason's last storyline doesn't begin with a gunshot or a dramatic arrest. Instead, it begins with something far more dangerous for him: clarity. Port Charles is changing. Sonny's power is fractured. The next generation is stepping into the chaos Jason once absorbed for them. And for the first time in a long while, Jason realizes that his presence may be doing more harm than good. Enemies don't come after Jason because of ambition. They come after him because of what he represents. And that puts a target on everyone he loves. This realization drives the emotional core of his farewell. Jason's final episode is structured like a slow burn rather than an explosion. The pacing is deliberate, reflective, and heavy with unspoken goodbyes. Jason standing alone on the pier at dawn, the same place has made countless impossible decisions. A silent visit to the Quatermain mansion, where memories linger even if he no longer belongs. A private conversation that confirms what fans already sense. This time, there's no rescue mission waiting. The episode doesn't rush. It lets silence do the talking, just as Jason always has. Jason doesn't gather everyone for a farewell. That would be out of character. Instead, he says goodbye in fragments. A look held too long. A hand squeezed briefly. Words that mean far more than they say. Each interaction is designed to feel incomplete because Jason never stays long enough to finish conversations. That's who he is. And that's why it hurts. Jason's romantic history is woven into the fabric of Port Charles. His final exit doesn't rewrite that history, it honors it. He acknowledges the love he shared. He accepts the choices he made. And he admits, quietly, that some happiness was sacrificed for survival. There's no reunion. No fairy tale ending. Just understanding. For Jason, love has always meant letting go. Steve Burton doesn't play Jason's exit big. He plays it restrained, controlled, and heartbreakingly human. His eyes carry decades of loss. His voice barely rises. His stillness speaks volumes. In his final scenes, Burton gives fans something rare, a Jason Morgan who knows exactly what he's doing, and exactly what it costs. This isn't a man forced out. It's a man choosing exile. Jason's last moments in Port Charles are rich with symbolism. The open road represents freedom, but also loneliness. The motorcycle echoes his past escapes, now framed as a final one. The sunrise suggests hope, even as he disappears. He doesn't look back. And that choice is devastating. Soap operas are famous for resurrections. Fans have learned never to say never. But this goodbye feels different, and intentionally so. The writing avoids cliffhanger, secret survival hints, off-screen threats. Instead, it offers closure. Jason leaves alive, capable, and resolved. The door isn't slammed shut, but it's gently closed. And that makes all the difference. Jason's departure creates a vacuum that can't easily be filled. The moral compass of the underworld is gone. The silent protector is missing. The man who cleaned up everyone else's messes has walked away. Characters who relied on Jason now face consequences alone. And that shift will ripple through Port Charles for years. The response from fans has been intense and deeply emotional. Some see the exit as tragic. Others see it as necessary. Many are simply heartbroken. But almost all agree on one thing. Jason Morgan deserved a goodbye that respected his legacy, and this episode delivers. Jason Morgan's legacy. Jason wasn't loud. He wasn't flashy. He didn't ask for forgiveness. He showed up. He protected. He endured. And in the end, he chose to walk away so others wouldn't have to bleed for his choices. That is who Jason Morgan has always been. Jason's exit isn't just the end of a character arc, it's the closing of an era. 4 decades, Jason Morgan stood at the emotional center of General Hospital, even when he wasn't front and center. His presence shaped stories, relationships, and moral lines. Steve Burton's final episode understands that weight. It doesn't rush the goodbye. It doesn't cheapen the past. It lets Jason leave the only way he ever could, quietly, purposefully, and alone. Port Charles will move on. New heroes will rise. New battles will begin. But there will never be another Jason Morgan. And that loss will be felt for a very long time.